Alrighty, so we're gonna start this next lesson, and this should be real sweet and simple. All right, Mallory, I gotta like, what are you doing right now? Like,
I'm driving home.
oh, you're driving from like what? You just out and about already?
Yeah, we're just out
Okay,
and about.
okay. I'm just not used to this. I'm still like waking up and everything like that now. Okay, let me get this started. I need to full screen this. I need to go to the canvas. All right. Let's see. So from Canvas,
Okay.
we're going to go to modules and we're going to start today's lesson. So everybody else who's watching this later can follow along. Hopefully you looked at the notes, but what I'm going to do is just kind of go through each section. I've really broken down to like every single quiz is just one easy, one lesson. There's nothing to it. So let's preview it. Today, what we're going to do is evaluate definite integrals, which should sound familiar because we've done this already. So if we wanted to go through, just like jump into question 2, we can do that. And I'm going to try to mess with my Zoom here. Let's see. The problem is the integral from -1 to 2 of 7 minus 3t. So take out my whiteboard. Integral from -1 to 2. Oh man, this is looking great. Of 7 minus 3t with respect to t. Alrighty, so I'll do this one time because it's gonna look so great. So if this was the integral, we'd bump it up once. I'd make that 7t and then minus, and then we'd bump up 3t, so that becomes 3t squared over 2. Oh my, I'm so good at this. All right, and then we'd evaluate the integral. This is something I would be doing a lot from -1 to 2. It's just the notations. So I'm going to plug in -2 first, or +2 first, and then I'm going to plug in 1. I'll subtract those answers. Can I change the color here? All right, so if I plug in 2, I'd get 7 times 2, that's 14, minus, I'd plug in 2 here. 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. 14 minus 6 is 8. Then what I'm going to do is also plug in -1. So 7 times -1 is -7. And then -1, -1 squared is a +1 times -3 is -3 divided by 2 is -1.5. And we'd get a total of -8.5.
Hello, Jane.
Top minus the bottom.
Dr.
So we subtract these answers. So 8 minus -8.5, yeah, would be a positive 16.5. Let's hope I did that right. Now, the reason why I wanted to show you, because this is a long way, and we're not going to do the whole section that we've done already, is because we can actually use other tricks. And that's the whole point of this section would be to show you the other tricks we can do. So hold on a second. Let me pop this up on my screen. I don't know if you can hear my kid in the background. Now on your guys' Chromebook, you guys should have a TI graphing calculator, and you guys should have something very similar to the one that I'm just about to pop up here. Here we go. All right, so I got a graphing calculator. I'll clear everything out. What we can do is use the calculator to our advantage. So I'm going to go to the y equals, and I'm going to type in 1 minus 3x instead of 3t. It's 3x. And I can graph that, and it's a nice line here. Now, remember the integral is the area underneath the curve, so I can do second calc, and you can see here choice 7 is that little integral sign, and I can press enter. It asks us for a lower limit, so we type in our lower number, -1, and then it asks for the upper limit. We'll type in 2, press enter. It shades, and it tells us right here the integral equals 16.5. And that's all we got to do. And if that was too difficult for you to do, graphing it and then finding it, which this will work as long as our window is in the range. So if I had to go from -1 to 100, the calculator would say there'd be a problem because the 100 isn't within this range here. we can actually just do this at the beginning. Now you can do this on the newer calculators. Depending on your calculator, you might not have this feature, but this one does, and the one that's on your Chromebook does. If you are on the regular screen, you just press math, and you look at choice number 9. Enter. We can just type in the equation, -1 to 2, and then we inside the parentheses put the 3, or was it 7 minus 3t x dx. Press enter. 16.5. So I want to really just show you guys this trick that we can do here on the calculators to make this a whole lot easier. So what I'm going to do now is just go through, see if I can go back and forth and use this, and go through every problem. So we can do this the long way, or we can do it the calculator way. I prefer the calculator way. All right, so we got -3 to 1 of 8. So I'm just going to do math 9 to get the integral. -3 to 1. Inside the parentheses is just 8 dx. We have to put the x there just to make it work. Enter. 32. There we go. We did the second problem together. Okay, so the next one here, if we have something crazy, you know, it just becomes easier to use the calculator. So we're going to use the calculator to our advantage, so when we get to tougher problems, we don't worry too much about that. All right, press math and then 9 on the calculator to get to it. We got from 1 to 2 of 6x squared minus 3x would be the problem. All we gotta do is type it in. What the calculator does, it graphs it, and it makes a bunch of tiny rectangles and adds them all up together. 9.5. There's the answer there.
Did you say that was the y equals 9 to get it on the calculator?
So if we want to graph it, we press, but if we want it just on the calculator, just press math 9.
Okay.
Yep. There'll be like later on where we might want to graph it, but typically math 9 is going to work. The only time, there's going to be a couple times, I think maybe the last problem, there might be an error with the calculator and that we have to graph it, but we'll go through. Okay, we got question 4 here. So we're just going to do math 9. It's from 1 to 3. So we're just typing these in. I always find it easy to just press the over button too. 4x cubed minus 3x squared. That's the equation, and then dx. Press enter. 54. So it's nice these tell us the answer. All right, this last problem, question 5, we might have some problems here. Which one am I? You know what? I'm not sure what I'm sharing. Oh, you know what? I apologize. I didn't have my calculator up, did I? Sorry. Oh, wait, no, okay, my screen. Okay, can you see my calculator right now? And the board behind it? Okay. All right, here we go. Math 9. We go from -2 to -1. All right, so here we got to get a little careful typing this in. We got x minus, and then I'm going to put this in parentheses. So 1 divided by x squared. Close that parenthesis, close the whole parenthesis. That's the whole problem, dx. We might get an error here. Okay, no, negative. Sometimes what will happen is the calculator will notice that there's a hole in the graph and it won't do it this way. And you have to graph it to say, like, I'm going to do the point that doesn't have the hole in the graph. And so there we go, -2. So that must have been all below. I hope that worked out. All righty. So that's pretty much it today. If we look at tomorrow's, or not tomorrow, Tuesday quiz, it's pretty much the same thing, except for the problems are a little bit more difficult. So this is why we really want to use the calculator. We could do these the long way. They just want to be nearly as fun. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, Mallory. I'll share this and everybody else.
Where did you get the TI calculator? What was
So,
it?
right when all this stuff started happening, I like reached out to TI, and TI gave me the source code for this, and then they also gave me I shared it with Mr. Schaffner, the Chromebook code, and he said he pushed it out to all the students. So it should be an extension on your Chromebook. You might have to go in
Okay.
like the top right corner, like I don't know if you can see on my screen, like over here. That's where my extensions are at, but they should be there. He said it was pushed out to all the students a while ago. If not, if you have a regular calculator, it's the exact same buttons that we do. But yeah, if you
Okay.
can find that, let me know. I'm not sure if they really let every kid know that that's on their Chromebook.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Do you have your Chromebook with you?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. So, which button in which part in the right-hand
So
corner did you say?
yeah, it's supposed to be an extension, which is like maybe if you do you have like the little circle in the bottom left corner that you can search for things?
Yeah.
Click there and like type out like just TI, do a search for that.
Oh, nice. Okay, that works.
And did that pop up then?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, cool. Didn't know if that would do that or not. All right, sounds good. So thanks for showing me. I'm sure other kids are looking at the same thing, but I will end this, and if it's okay with you, I'm going to post this on Canvas.
Sounds good.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Well, see you around. Have a good one.
Great.
Enjoy the weekend.
Thanks, you too.
All right.